Welcome to Promero. For those of you not familiar with Promero, Promero began in 2001 as an application service provider and sales organization specializing in call center, CRM, workforce, quality management, and speech analytics software. You might say that Promero is the expert on everything call center. Promero hosts webinars like this to share best practices and new technology with the call center and customer service community. These webinars are meant to educate call center owners and managers with the latest solutions to improve call center efficiencies and customer satisfaction. Today, we are excited to have with us Stephen Dellutri, former CTO of CosmoCom and current Senior Executive of Business Development at Enghouse Interactive. If you're not familiar with Enghouse Interactive, it is a large multi-billion-dollar publicly traded company that is a leader in carrier-class call center software. Carrier-class software is the highest standard of software because it must exceed requirements for scalability, security, and stability to support government offices as well as large global enterprises and institutions. Today, we'll hear about Enghouse Interactive's call center platform, CCSP. CCSP is used by large carriers such as British Telecom, Telefonica, Orange, formerly France Telecom, EPLDT, Philippine Long Distance Telephone Company, Tata, Telecom of India, and Telus of Canada, just to name a few. Promero partnered with Enghouse Interactive and uses CCSP as its cloud call center software, known as Promero Call Center, powered by Enghouse Interactive. Also joining Mr. Dellutri in the webinar is Mr. George Gordon, Executive Vice President of Sales at Promero. Please watch the entire webinar. At the end, we will share a special limited time offer that I'm sure you'll want to hear. Now, let's get started and join the webinar. Mr. Gordon, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Leanne, and thank you to all our guests for joining our webinar today. My name is George Gordon. I am the Executive Vice President of Sales for Promero. Also joining me today is Stephen Dellutri, former CTO of CosmoCom and current Senior Business Development Executive with Enghouse Interactive. Stephen will provide a quick history about Enghouse Interactive. He'll also talk about the partnership between Enghouse Interactive and Promero. And finally, he will walk us through the Enghouse Interactive call center platform, CCSP. Stephen, please go ahead.
So today we're going to be talking about Enghouse and Enghouse Interactive's flagship product, the contact center service provider. Enghouse have been in business since about 1984 and is publicly listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange. Today we have a market cap of over $2 billion and have worldwide operations employing over 1,300 employees, with our headquarters located just outside of Toronto in Canada. We have under our portfolio of companies and products many different communications technologies, but the focus point for today's session is on contact center and our contact center service provider product. This product have recently been reviewed by the DMG Consulting Group, and having one of the largest allocations for contact center infrastructure by market share by number of seats as of August of 2015, which is very impressive for us. We've actually been in the business of doing the contact center as a provider solution for almost 20 years, previously under the name of CosmoCom, but now being brought to market through the Enghouse umbrella as contact center service provider. So our name may have been, you may have heard our name before. Many service providers, first-tier telecom operators around the globe, have chosen this technology to run cloud-based contact center solutions for their customers. We're doing business with companies, well-known companies such as NTT in Japan, PLDT in the Philippines, Telus in Canada, MTEL in the Netherlands, and other very well-known communication service providers throughout the globe. Each one of these service providers is offering the solution running out of their own data centers and offering contact center services to their customer base. And here is just an example of some of the customers and the various industries that have been successful using the contact center service provider technology, ranging from technology and telecom, healthcare, travel and tourism, financial, as well as government and retail type of deployments. The technology is generally useful for all of these different verticals, and leveraging the cloud-based benefits of the technology that we're going to get into in just a moment, you'll be able to see why this is such a useful technology for these various verticals. Our solution deployed together with Promero encompasses the traditional contact center features as well as additional functionalities that are required to build today's modern contact center. You can see on the slide here, we start with the core ACD or automatic call distribution technology, but then surrounded around the technology are all of the major features such as interactive voice response, predictive dialer, as well as technologies such as workforce management, agent scripting, and multimedia technologies. The Promero Cloud Contact Center platform with CCSP at its core has all the functionality for today's modern contact center delivered through the cloud, so it's simple, easy, and very cost-effective for an end customer to take benefit of this technology. This CCSP was designed from the ground up for service providers like Promero to deliver carrier-grade scalability and availability, all being delivered through its multi-tenancy with tenant self-administration capabilities. And there's a real key differentiator. Because the platform is already running in the network, it's very, very easy and quick to provision new tenants on the solution and deliver those services out to those tenants in a very timely manner. The system runs entirely in the IP, voice over IP domain using SIP-based technology and provides all of its functions through this IP-based network. You can see on the far right-hand side the various classes of agents or users that can very easily access this platform, whether they are agents which are located in the office or in the physical contact center location, as well as remote, mobile, or home-based agents, supervisors or subject matter experts that might be within the contact center or other location where they can connect to the system. And self-service is easily accessed through the platform through our use of our interactive voice response and our very easy to use call flow scripting environment. On the left-hand side, you see the various communications channels that the customers can use to access the solution, ranging from the traditional telephone all the way through multimedia capabilities, chat, social media, video, and messaging technologies. All of this together is what comprises the Promero call center platform for the cloud. The solution is highly available and highly redundant, deployed at a Tier 4 hosting center from Verizon at Terremark at Americas. This solution has amongst the most highly available power, security, environmentals, and cooling capabilities to make sure that the system is running 24/7 with near 100% availability for customers using this infrastructure. The system has also provided redundant locations through additional locations throughout the United States for additional redundancy purposes. But overall, the system is achieving extremely high levels of availability, so all of your customers can rest assured that the platform will be running all the time. We have several different ways that we can deploy the cloud solution to your customer, ranging from the fully public cloud implementation through the spectrum of private cloud implementation. Using our public cloud infrastructure, which is what the system was designed to achieve and what it's most well known for, we share all of the infrastructure and all of the capabilities of the platform and let customers benefit in all of its capacity and all of its availability that's been implemented. On the private cloud side, for customers who need additional security and additional privacy in their environment, they can choose to subscribe to the technology on a private instance. And then there are those customers who would love to get the benefits of the availability and capacity from the public cloud, as well as benefits from the private cloud. In a more cost-effective way, we've got a hybrid cloud deployment style, which allows you to share some of the infrastructure that might be on the public side and dedicate some of the infrastructure that's privately in use for that tenant. So you get kind of the best of both worlds. So we have 3 different solutions for your customer: public, private, and the hybrid in the middle, which gives all the various options for customers to choose from most cost-effective to most secure and most private implementation. Let's take a look at what the actual implementation looks like to the end customer. The end customer will use his web browser and point to the URL of the portal running the CCSP infrastructure. Here we see the Touchpoint agent, which has been rendered in the browser for that agent. Now, depending upon the user credentials that have been provisioned for you and you use to log into the platform, you'll gain access to more or less features or capabilities. But here we see the standard Touchpoint agent, who happens to be interacting with 3 simultaneous web chat interactions. On the right-hand side, you can see, for example, a collection of pre-stored phrases that can be used to make chatting on the internet much more effective, reduce potential errors, and allow the agents to speed along the process. In the center portion of the screen, you see the actual chat text in the areas where the agent and the customer can communicate with each other. And then on the left-hand side of the screen, you actually see the call control interface, which gives the agents the ability to answer the call, terminate the call, transfer the call, or take other functions along that call. And on the far left, you can see the toolbar, which gives you the interface to activate various features or functions of the platform, ranging from the top left areas of traditional call flow and call control, through the center where you have access to different integrations which may have been done for your specific implementation, as well as reporting, statistics, and management tools as you come down to the center, and finally configuration options on the lower portion of the toolbar. All of this together represents the Touchpoint agent, which is a very, very modern user interface. It was recently deployed to the CCSP product suite. It is independent, meaning you can run this in sort of Google Chrome if you like, or in Firefox, or in Internet Explorer, or whichever browser is most convenient for you to use, and leverages some of the most advanced browser development techniques that are in use today, such as the HTML5 and the AngularJS. It's a very small footprint on the screen and easily customizable for your individual needs. So you can add in different applications to this user interface, or very easily extract the data or push them into business applications that would be integrated to this interface. That's a Touchpoint agent by CCSP. Here we see an example of the Touchpoint agent that has been integrated with an end customer's CRM solution. And what you'll notice in the center portion of the screen, we've facilitated a screen pop which renders the relevant information for that call. We've identified who the calling party is by way of his caller ID, use that as a keyed information to pop open the screen for this service representative and shown relevant information about this customer. In your own environments, this might also include billing status or trouble ticket information that are relevant for potential communication between a customer and that service representative. Very, very simple and very easy to pull in one or multiple of business applications to this environment to allow agents to be very effective in their communications with the customer. Here we see another view of the Touchpoint agent. In this case, the view is of handling of messages. Messages can be automatically routed to service representative based upon similar rules that might be used for routing of live voice calls or other multimedia interactions. And we can scan for things such as keywords or phrases, look at the sending party, look at the target recipient of the message, and use that to affect both routing and presentation information to the service representative. Again, you can see on the right-hand side we have a collection of stored phrases that can be easily populated into the message reply and facilitate the process of getting a response to that customer very rapidly and with minimal amount of potential error. On the left-hand side, you can see the call control mechanism for this email message is very similar to that of the chat interaction that the agent had previously or of a traditional voice call. The model and the flow of communications to the service representative using this touchpoint agent is very similar across all these different modalities of communication. This touchpoint user interface actually is also useful for other classes of users. In this case, we see the supervisor who logs in with his credentials gain access to some additional tools to best support the team which he is managing in the contact center. In this screen, we can see that the supervisor has access to the real-time presence information of the various users which are on his team. So we can see who is in call, who is on hold, who is in wrap-up, or who is in release mode, and the associated timings and so on for that. He can also engage in a live chat interaction with a particular user or with a group of users to advise them of some exceptional condition within the contact center. For example, if there's a special sale going on, or perhaps there is a special emergency occurring that all of the agents need to be made aware of, or to directly support a particular service representative in handling with a problematic customer on his particular call. That can all be done through this live chat scenario. Additionally, that supervisor can connect to that live call in progress, silently monitor it for himself, change to a coaching mode where he can speak to that service representative and advise him on what to tell this customer, or fully barge into this call and take over the responses to handle properly this problematic customer. He's got a variety of tools to best support this contact center environment. Additionally, you can see the little life preserver, which is in the center portion close to the top, which gives an indication of agents which are in need of support. So it's not just a matter of the supervisor individually selecting which agent he wants to collaborate with, but an agent can request support from the group of supervisors that may be managing him, and then the first supervisor to gain access to that agent would be supporting that agent. A lot of very powerful features to empower this supervisor to provide proper support to his team, even under the assumption that that supervisor is not physically located in the same location as the agents which he is monitoring. A lot of very powerful features. The supervisor also has access to a very powerful set of customizable real-time displays. He can collect up different statistics, charts, or tabular format, and render it on his screen in whichever way is the most effective for him. You drag and drop these different components of statistics and reports onto the screen, link them up with the key performance metrics that are relevant for him. You can even set up filters and thresholds and alerts if you like, and lay out this screen in a way which is most useful and manageable for that supervisor, and save this view. You can save multiple of views within the contact center and share these views amongst the other members of the team, or configure specific views that are generally useful to the entire contact center, which might be presented upon large format displays or projectors within the contact center. This tool is actually very powerful in that you can look at just subsets of the data instead of looking at the entire contact center's activity. And this allows you to focus in on what is really the actionable data or the actionable events occurring that you need to take action on to properly manage the users in your contact center. For example, instead of showing me all of the calls which are in progress, just show me the calls, the top 5 calls which are longest in progress, so I can go and assist those agents which may be in a long call with the customer, which might indicate that it's problematic, or the 5 longest agents which are in a release state to see perhaps they are taking too long of a break and I need to make sure to get them back working on the call flow of the contact center. So you can set up these views to be very, very subsets of actionable data. Furthermore, the alerts can be sent to your email or to your telephone and let you know when a specific threshold has been exceeded. If you have, for example, a target quality of service of servicing or completing call in under 7 minutes or under 6 minutes, which is common for many contact center applications, maybe you want to get an alert every time a call exceeds such threshold so you can take appropriate action. And you can do that with this tool as well. That's a very, very powerful tool in this real-time display. Moving on, the next level of reporting within our system, considering that the real-time display is the first level of reporting, we have comprehensive historical reports. These historical reports, again, can be tabular or graphical in nature or a combination thereof. These reports are querying the data out of our SQL server, which is storing all of the activity within the contact center. I'm storing all of the call detail records of every call transacted on the platform, as well as every state transition of an agent and every call activity, such as a transfer or heading of a queue or termination. And this historical reports can consume this data and render it either to the display or automatically create a PDF or an Excel spreadsheet, which can be emailed to your managers or your supervisors at particular times during the day. These historical reports are, again, very customizable using tools such as the Microsoft Developer Studio for customizing of the historical reports, using standard SQL Server techniques for designing and implementing these reports. The selection of these reports is commonly done through the SQL Server, SQL Reporting Services portal, which can be used to easily schedule or select which reports need to be created at any given time. And finally, the third level of reporting within our system is the business intelligence reporting. This is basically using the analytical services of the SQL Server in order to create pre-aggregated views of the data that can be easily manipulated in near real time to get a better sense of what's happening in the contact center over longer time durations. Whereas you might use the real-time reports for using what's happening in an hour-over-hour or shift-over-shift basis, and the historical reports in a day-over-day or week-over-week or month-over-month basis, you might use the business intelligence reporting to look at quarter-over-quarter or year-over-year performance of particular queue, agent group, or call routing strategy within the contact center. And very, very fast and efficient to modify or adapt these views as you see fit, because we're working with this pre-aggregated data that makes it much more efficient to manage and interact with these reports. So that's where you have it with reporting. We've got the level 1 real-time, level 2 historical, and level 3 business intelligence reporting. One of the items that we haven't been talking about yet is the outbound capabilities within the solution. The system is supporting a comprehensive set of multimedia inbound capabilities as well as traditional outbound predictive, preview, and progressive dialing modes to reach out to customers. This is done using a very, very powerful campaign management tool for reviewing, analyzing, and segmenting of lead lists, including multiple numbers, different time zones, and so on, to select from which numbers you'd like to create a campaign around to generate calls to the network. This tool is actually leveraging a very, very powerful algorithm for generating a very high level of agent occupancy level, even under the condition of achieving a low abandon rate of calls to the network. So what you're able to do is to select what abandon rate is your target, and the system will dynamically adapt to keep the dialing rate around that abandon rate while still maintaining a very high occupancy level to your agents. The system is also very good at dealing with things such as answering machines and messaging devices. You can configure your outbound campaigns to ignore answering machines, so your agents are not negatively impacted by call time going to answering machines, or you can also configure your campaign to leave messages to those answering machines so that they can get an effective indication of who it was that called and what is the nature of the calling campaign. Another very interesting mode of calling is to set up an agentless campaign, which will send an automated message out to the list of numbers and give a message to that customer, as well as give him options for navigating through a self-service application, IVR for example, with options to also connect to live service representative if the nature of the call flow requires it. So you can think about for a moment different campaigns such as payment reminders, where you'd like to advise a customer of a delinquent account or give him an option to pay once he's connected to the platform. You've got a variety of different outbound dialing modes that can be leveraged with this technology. With this outbound campaign management, you've got a very, very powerful set of tools to select from the database of leads. You can select based upon traditional SQL queries, as well as some pre-stored fields within the environment here. You can see on the screen things such as the contact ID, the title, the age, the location, and so on. And you've also got the ability to interact with a multiple of different contact numbers. So perhaps I want to try his mobile number during the day, but then I want to try his residential number in the evening as calling strategies for getting in touch with those different contacts. We've got some of the most powerful features in campaign management selection using this tool. One of the great things about the CCSP platform is the unified call flow service creation environment. This call flow studio, commonly known as Designer, is again a browser-based tool for building call flows using a similar metaphor as you've seen with other drawing tools. You've got tools on the left-hand side of the screen, a workspace in the center portion of the screen. You drag and drop elements off the toolbar onto the workspace. You connect them up with lines. In some cases, you'll have to fill out some high-level properties which are rendered on the right-hand side of the screen. And then you publish a call flow to the platform. It's a very, very high-level tool, can be operated by a call center manager or call center supervisor, not necessarily requiring the depth of skill you might find with a programmer or other software developer that you might have within your environment. So this puts the power back into the hands of the managers or the call center operators to be able to correctly manage or maintain these call flows as needed. The tool also has very powerful interactivity capabilities with being able to pull in data from web services queries or in-band data that might come through SIP signaling. And this can be also used for impacting both the call routing strategy as well as the call presentation strategy to the service representative. As an example, I might use the web services interface to make a query into my CRM database based upon the calling party's ID and retrieve, for example, the membership status, whether the customer is a gold, silver, or bronze subscriber, as well as his account status, whether he is current or delinquent, and use that information to impact whether this call is routed immediately over to the collections department or sent over to the premium support area, which that customer is normally subscribed to. And of course, present all of that information on the service representative's desktop. Very powerful tool using this call flow creation studio for designing all of these various call flows within the platform. And you can store multiple of these call flows in the platform and select from which is the appropriate call flow to use at any given time. This call flow tool is not only useful for traditional voice calls, be them inbound or outbound, but it's also useful for the alternative medias that are also supported on the platform. Here we see in the case of the advanced message management capabilities, I can analyze the contents of the email message, look at the subject line, look at the sending party, look at the target recipient, look for keywords and phrases, automatically create a reply to that customer to let him know his message was received, maybe even provide a target response time, and then send that message over to the appropriate queue, which will be responded to by the service representative. That service representative can receive all of the associated information collected during this call flow script, such as which keywords were allocated, and make the appropriate response accordingly to that customer. Using all of these various features we've been talking about, such as the message management, such as the outbound and the inbound capabilities, as well as the call flow designer tool, we're putting all of these features together. We can construct some very interesting scenarios. One of them that's commonly in use by a number of our customers is a virtual hold solution. This virtual hold allows the customer to receive an indication of the expected waiting time while he's sitting on hold in a queue waiting to receive connection to a service representative, and offer that customer an option for either continuing to hold or suggesting to him that we can call him back at approximately the waiting time without him having to hold online and listen to music on hold. It's proven to be a very effective method for dealing with the peaks and valleys of contact center activity. So we can make sure to get back to our customer in a very reasonable period of time. The customer's attitude and the customer's response to the contact center will be much more enhanced, and the contact center managers are better able to stay within their target service levels for their holding times and their queue depths when managing their contact centers. So this virtual hold solution, by putting together the various features of the CCSP platform, is an interesting way to leverage the benefits of the CCSP technology. Another interesting way that you can use our Designer Call Flow Studio is for turning on or off or managing different features of the platform. One of the great features is the recording technology built into the solution. Now, there's a variety of modes of recording which are available. Those include both full recording, recording on demand, selective recording, automatic recording in which you don't let the service representative know he's being recorded, another mode which allows the service representative to be aware that he's being recorded, and so on. And these can all be triggered by various information which is collected during the call flow script. He can be recorded for both the media of his call, which is the audio experience or the message that he's transacting, as well as recording all of the activity on his desktop. So we can see, for example, what content he's putting into the business application or the CRM while he's interacting with that customer to make sure that he's putting in what he's telling the customer that he's putting into the system. A very effective tool for maintaining the quality and the efficiency within the contact center. Some additional tools that have been put into the CCSP technology is the integration with the Microsoft Skype for Business technology. Skype for Business, formerly known as the Microsoft Link technology, has recently become one of the more popular tools for doing business telephony and communications within enterprises. And with this tool integrated into CCSP, we can do things such as shared presence between the CCSP users and the Skype for Business users, as well as facilitate different call flows, which might include audio and video, or text chat between the various parties, be them on the CCSP or the Skype for Business. Going forward, we see this integration with the Skype for Business technology as being very effective in helping to facilitate communication with the front end of the contact center of a business, as well as the back end non-contact center workers or enterprise users within a company. One of the nice tools that is available to complement our recording infrastructure is our agent evaluation tool. The quality assurance team of the contact center can use this agent evaluator tool to review recordings of calls which are transacted on the platform, and basically to rate an agent on various points on what he did or did not do during that call. For example, did he greet the customer properly? Did he provide an appropriate closing argument? Did he advise the customer of the latest promotion? And was he pleasant? And did he respond properly to all of the customer's inquiries? Using this agent evaluator tool, a quality assurance team member can select from either a specific agent's calls that have been transacted or randomly select them and provide the associated scoring after listening to and reviewing the calls that were transacted. Those scorecards can then be distributed to agents, and this can be used for appropriate compensation levels or coaching and training methods within the contact center. Social media has also gained a lot of popularity recently within contact centers, especially as it relates to providing proper support and good feedback on various products or services offered by different companies. We've got a number of ways to support interaction between a number of the social media networks, including those popular ones such as Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Google+ as an example. Using partner technology for scanning the social media networks, we can easily collect sentiment information or targeted customer feedback that occurred at one of these social medias and route them to a service representative using the messaging infrastructure of the CCSP platform. Again, leveraging the call flow designer, you can script where this message gets routed to, how it's presented, what priority it receives, and what additional features are leveraged on that call flow. Using that capability and that interactivity, you can directly engage and respond to any of the social media activity which occurs. These social media options will become more and more prevalent as the contact centers are evolving, and I think that we're only scraping the tip of the iceberg as it comes to social media interaction within the modern contact center. Stand by for some additional capabilities coming from the CCSP product suite in the near future related to social media. And here's just an example of some of the other integrations which are easily achieved with the CCSP technology. We're commonly seeing customers demand things such as CRM interaction, as well as things such as workforce management, speech analytics, automatic speech recognition, or text-to-speech technologies. On the screen, you can see some of the logos of the partners that we've worked with for integrating those technologies into a CCSP solution. Together with Promero, we've been very successful in providing these integrations to end customers, such as the Pipkins Workforce Management Solution, as well as the Zoho CRM technology. Going forward, I'm expecting this slide to also increase in the number of logos and exciting technologies from partner products that we'll be integrating with the overall solution. And I think we're running a little bit tight on time. Perhaps we'd like to see if there are any questions or comments from the web audience.
Yes, we have a few questions. The first question is, we have an on-premise solution with many integrations and customizations. How would your solution address the complexity associated with converting our call center practice to your cloud solution?
Okay, I'll take that question. So this is actually a great question, and although the task may appear daunting, it is precisely this type of environment that our clients are running away from. So first of all, the complexity of having to run a major data center to support an outdated technology is eliminated. Customers complain about lengthy and highly complex processes for upgrades and compatibility implications with evolving versions of OS, database, etc. Bottom line, they're forced to remain on a stagnant release or have to deal with lengthy postponements that adversely impact their business. With our solution, the upgrade process is invisible to you, thereby unlocking the barrier to obtaining new features and capabilities almost instantly. In addition, just about every contact center wants its CRM, billing, finance, telephony, and other solutions to work together seamlessly with their contact center infrastructure. Our solution includes productized, pre-built integrations with leading CRM solutions, as Steve mentioned, open APIs for integrating with virtually every aspect of the contact center, and lightweight connectors giving agents seamless access to customer information. These tools allow you to quickly build connections between your applications and our cloud contact center. Now, in terms of the actual environment, conversion to the cloud, your instance could be up and running in a few days, and we would work together to perform a seamless migration to our cloud solution. We also offer from time to time incredible promotions for premise-based clients having Cisco, Avaya, or other legacy systems that wish to move to the cloud. Please feel free to contact me for more information.
The next question is, some solution providers make a distinction between a pure cloud and hosted cloud offerings. Can you explain the difference and what other options that you offer?
Okay, so let me begin by saying that Promero has been a cloud evangelist since it was founded. We knew back then that the cloud would represent the biggest technology disruption since the transition from mainframes to client-server computing. Our offering is indeed a true cloud contact center, leveraging world-class Verizon infrastructure with access to all users via a standard browser. If you recall from the presentation, Promero Call Center can be offered in several cloud-based deployment options: public cloud, hybrid cloud, and private cloud. Now, I won't go over all the details again, but hybrid and private cloud options allow for dedicated resources. The dedicated resources allow you more flexibility and control of your instance. The private cloud option gives you the highest level of control, dedicated capacity, the ability to deliver critical SLAs, and all the benefits of cloud-based application delivery. We can even accommodate customers that require a premise-based solution. We prefer not to force customers to buy into any kind of hype or delivery model. Our value consists of bringing options to our customers, acting as a trusted consultant to them and pointing out pros and cons of each option, and then letting the customer decide which TCO and delivery model works best for them.
The next question is, we are evaluating several solutions and they all seem very similar. We are a business process outsourcer with agents all over the world and a diverse client base. What makes your solution uniquely different than the others?
George, if it's okay, I'll take that one.
Sure.
There are actually several factors that differentiate our solution. First, since it's a cloud-based technology and we're already providing service in a very highly available configuration, those BPO customers can easily benefit from a cost-effective solution which is highly reliable. You leverage the high availability which is already built into your network. Additionally, since it's deployed through the cloud, we can easily connect multiple geographically diverse user populations and allow them to seamlessly participate in the functions of the contact center as if they were in the same location. As an outsourcer, they can leverage our multi-tenancy configuration capability, and through this multi-tenancy we can actually provide unique branding for each of the customers they are then providing service to. More than that, we can allocate the different call flows for these different customers to different statistics and historical reporting databases so that you can create unique reports on behalf of the BPO's customers, even though they're all running on the same platform. And then finally, as you're servicing global customers, the system can be automatically rendered in the appropriate language that is relevant for those geographies. So whether it's English or Spanish or in other locales rendering other languages, those BPOs can service customers wherever they are doing business in the world in the associated language. So you've got really a number of different ways we provide differentiated service, especially for BPOs.
The next question is, do you have industry-specific solutions, specifically in our case for debt collections?
Let's see, I'll take that one if you don't mind. So the answer is yes. Now, as it relates to debt collection, which is a very strategic vertical for Promero, we offer powerful technology solutions for your collections programs that can help you increase your right party contact rates and streamline the communications process. Our best-in-class solution suite gives you all the tools to enhance the productivity of your collectors, save resources, gain more promises to pay, and improve your overall collections results. Collection-specific features include outbound dialing capabilities that you saw that help you maximize right party connects, IVR tools to set up and deploy automatic agent and payment programs, voice and screen recording, speech analytics to track quality and compliance, customizable collector desktops to streamline processes and provide access to debtor account information, agent scripting, campaign strategy management, and more. Our API allows you to interface with many of the popular collection systems out there, as well as to proprietary collections platforms.
The next question is, a challenge that we face is determining what works or what doesn't work in our call center, then to decide what course of action to take. What metrics does your solution provide, and how can they be used to improve the customer experience?
George, I'll take that one. The system is offering full call queue, agent group, agent activity, and campaign metrics that are rendered in real time, historically, and in analytical formats. The real-time displays show the most relevant data over the current day. The historical reports show all the details for the day, week, month, or quarter that is being reported on. And finally, the analytical data gives easy access to larger time periods of historical data collected on the platform. Using these interfaces, you can very easily take a look at what is working and what is not working, or manipulate the views to see and drill down on what is really happening in the contact center and make associated changes. One of the things that you might do is change the way calls are diverted to specific queues, or when various thresholds are reached, or when various call flows need to be routed to supervisory or other overflow scenarios. When you look at the data and you have access to this data to manipulate in near real time, you can make the relevant decisions and easily implement them in the web-based call flow design studio as needed. So you've got all of the power to look into the system and all of the control to affect those changes. We've really covered a lot of material in our webinar today, but it looks like we're running a little bit out of time. If it's okay, Leanne, I'll turn this back over to you.
I hope you found this webinar informative. Promero Call Center, powered by Enghouse Interactive, is the only true carrier-class call center software that is affordable to any business of any size. Whether your business has 10 agents or 10,000 agents, no problem. Upgrading to Promero Call Center couldn't be easier and could truly help your call center operations. As I mentioned earlier, there is a limited time offer. Right now, Promero is offering a 1-year free service for you to upgrade your business to Promero Call Center. No gimmicks or tricks, no capital investment. Promero wants you to experience the benefits of true carrier-class call center software. Visit www.promero.com or call the toll-free number listed on the website and request the details of the 1-year free service. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, and we hope to hear from you soon.